Hello, I'm Jane Watts. Quaker educator and author Parker Palmer has written these words: "Our deepest calling is to grow into our own authentic selfhood. As we do so, we will not only find the joy that every human being seeks, we will also find our path of authentic service in the world." I've been moving toward this searching and seeking of my authentic way of living in the world as long as I can remember. And about 20 years ago, through an invitation from Carol Cotton Wynn and support and encouragement from Rob Weber, I was invited to participate in the Academy for Spiritual Leadership, where I heard my authentic calling as being one to offer spiritual companioning. Then, as they say, my labyrinth took a turn, and my husband Tucker and I moved to Mississippi for about 15 years. There, through a generous grant by the Lilly Foundation and invitations from the directors of the Center for Ministry, I was invited to join their staff and begin offering programming in spiritual companioning and lifelong learning to clergy and spiritual leaders in that conference and beyond. My life and work has always been about the encouragement and support of others in finding their way of living their lives authentically in the world. And this comes out of the ways in which I was supported by others. Many have affirmed my calling, my seminary professors and teachers and advisors, Margaret Ann Crane, Dwight Judy, and Wendy Miller. And fellow seminarian and deacon here in the annual conference in Louisiana, Kathy Bruton, was a companion of mine as we attended Garrett together, which is, in fact, where my call finally came. You see, I did all of this work both here and in Mississippi as a layperson. So there came a time when God decided it was time for my call to come. And it was a gift to be with Kathy in those days and be a support of hers and her of me as we formed our ministries together. At the end of the day, perhaps the most significant and challenging people who have influence on our journeys are those we live with in our family systems, our parents, our spouses, co-workers, significant others, partners, and children. They have a way of challenging us and yet at the same time offering us support to be held accountable in all that we do. My ministry appointment is to the Rosslyn Charitable Foundation. This foundation was formed in memory of my son Ross, who died within just a few months of my being commissioned in the Mississippi Annual Conference. Ross's belief in people and desire that they live authentically in service to the world is what informs and inspires the work of the foundation. We offer ministry and mission work again in areas of humanitarian outreach, creative nurturing of the creative spirit, and spiritual leadership development. Everyone has the capacity to offer their whole life in service in the world. Sometimes all that is needed is for someone to name it, encourage them to embrace it, and be there to walk with them, and that indeed is my call.